some wild cats.
Do you hear me? We back with it, man.
You're listening to some wild cats.
You guys represent what is best in America.
Hey, Craig, let me ask you, do you use the same type of Beijing, or do you just, like, you mix that up? like you do just for men?
These dudes, boy.
Y'all, I'm getting ready to put y'all up on something, man.
From the DMV
to wild cats.
Now, let's start the show.
Okay, here we go, man. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
What is up? What is up? We are back. Some Wildcats podcast, the pop-up show. Yes, the pop-up podcast. I am Craig Black, coming to you live from some Wildcat Studios on this Super Sunday. You know, we had to come to y'all, bring our special show before the big game today. And as always, you know, I got my family in the building. Let's start off with my man Keith, a.k.a. Cat Daddy Keith, a.k.a. Keith the Freak, a.k.a. Coach Keith. What's up, Keith?
What's up, Black? What's going on with you?
Man, feeling real good, man. Feeling real good about these Bengals today. That's what I'm feeling real good about. Yeah, I had to jump ship a little bit, you know. All right, also in the building, we got this 30-minute special working. I got my man Glenn, a.k.a. The baseball parent extraordinaire, a.k.a. he spells his name with 3 or 4 or 5 N's. What's up, Glenn?
What's up with you?
Ain't nothing, man. Good to have you, man. Good to have you, man.
How's it going?
All right. Oh, he's nice and reserved. All right. Also in the building, I got my man, and AKA the old man, AKA the agent. We don't call him that no more. AKA he is here. What's up, Ant?
Darkness. What's up, Blackish?
Man, ain't nothing, man. Good to have you
here. You get some royalties from that from the name that they're using for their show?
Blackish? Yeah, I do. I get paid every month for that shit, man.
Okay, go ahead.
They stole my shit. Yeah, they stole my shit. All right. And last but not least, she just popped up in here, coming to you live from sunny is that California? California? Or is that? Yeah, that's California. Yeah. Reporting, our sideline reporter for the Super Bowl, Dirk, aka the Wallet, aka
we got boots on the ground. We got boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground, baby. We be on the ground in a couple of hours, live from La La at the Super Bowl. I'll be calling back in. We're gonna go live again once I'm in the building.
All right. You're gonna have Joe Burrow for us, right?
Yes, sir. We're gonna get towards the OBJ, baby. OBJ.
All right, so man, let's break it down, man. This podcast is about us and our friendship over the last 35, 40, 45, 50 plus years. It's about the topics we want to cover because we don't give a goddamn about what you think. It's all about what we think, all right? Got this 30-minute special rolling. We're only going 30 minutes today, you know. Get y'all ready for the game. And we're going to start off in the NBA and talk about these trades, man. These trades going down in the NBA, something serious. Let's talk about James Harden. How about that? Let's go to James Harden. I don't know. They say he wanted out. Was he pushed out? Let me know, Keith. What do you think about the trade of James Harden going to the Philadelphia with Ben Simmons? And I'm gonna put it out there. I think that Brooklyn won this trade. They got off like fat racks with this trade. But go ahead, Keith. I'll let you start it off, man.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn won the trade based off of the 2 additional first rounders that they got. But right now, with everybody being hurt and the way that Brooklyn is playing right now and KD not being back, Philly looks like they immediately won. But with the 2 first rounders that they got on top of Ben Simmons, I think Brooklyn might have came out a little bit better in the long run.
I mean, that took it over the top and just I don't know. I think that the Nets just they're gonna need more time to mesh together. It's not because even with Kyrie being there, him and KD haven't played together a lot, so they haven't really had that chemistry to build.
Did you see the stat?
Yet. No, I didn't see the stat. What's the stat?
Since all 3 of them have been on the roster together, they played 125 games. Out of the 125 games that they've had since all 3 of them have been on the roster, they've only played 16 together.
Oh, see. And that's why they're terrible right now. For
real, all 3 of them, they've only played 16 of 125 potential games. They played 16 games together, and they were 13-3 in that stint. But 16 games out of 125 games.
But what does that say about their role players? I mean, should their role players have
when
been?
You got 3 max dudes, you're not. What are you expecting your role players to do? You got 3 max dudes.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna go to Ant. What you think about that trade, man?
I think in the short term, I want to say Sixers win it because they're going to be able to get their full roster on the floor at the time with James on there. But with the Nets, you got to think Kyrie's only still going to be there part-time. KD is still out. So Ben Simmons, who, if you kind of play it off his last couple of games, not wanting to shoot the ball, they in a worse situation and stuff. So I think in the short term, I think the Sixers kind of won this. But in the long term, I think, James Harden, after 1 year, his contract is up. And so, they can mess around and have traded Ben Simmons and gave up some draft picks. And then after this, they don't have anything. So I think it's yet to be seen.
But I
don't think, honestly, there were major trades because of just the names of the players. But I don't know how many of these trades were actually major impact trades. I think Portland was, tanking with CJ McCullough. Just some of the stuff that was going down. There was no major impact trades, in my opinion, and stuff. I think the teams that needed to make some impact trades didn't make them. And those who
you're talking about LA. You're talking about LA right now. That's what you're talking about, huh? Yeah, they didn't make that one. Yeah. That's what you're talking about. Let's put it out there. Yeah,
we didn't jump on the Wizards when we talked about.
My bad. I'm just. He pointed it out, so I'm just helping him out a little bit.
I was going to get to Wizards. They made some trades, but with Bradley Beal being, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say with Bradley Beal out for the rest of the season, and I don't even know if the unicorn is healthy. I don't even know if he's cleared to play yet.
Nope.
So I think the Wizards, they do stuff like in typical Wizard fashion and stuff, man. They make one step forward in the offseason, 2 steps back after the trade deadline because you get, your prize and your coveted trade, your trade acquisition in Dinwiddie, and then you trade him. Bertans, you just signed him to all this money, and then you trade him. And then I'm gonna be honest with you. I can understand the Bertans thing because he just he wasn't panning out. He getting all that money, and the dude he's paid to shoot and to hit threes, and he wasn't doing his job. So I get it, but my point is that just a couple of years ago, like everybody was scratching their heads as to why they gave him all that money anyway. Yeah. And then Montrezl Harrell, you sent him to Charlotte, and he was probably the best of the 3 or the second best of the big men that you had and stuff. So it's just
I didn't understand that Montrezl move. I mean, that's just
they put Charlotte in a position to be relevant, or at least in a one of those playoff slots, with him being able to do their dirty work down there with that young nucleus that they got.
Hey, it's some Wildcats podcast. We coming to you live from some Wildcats studios. It's a pop-up podcast, 30-minute special. Let's get off my Wizards and talk about why them funky Lakers didn't make any moves. Why didn't it happen? Why didn't they do something in LA? I mean, LeBron says he's about to fire Jeannie Buss. He's going to take over ownership for the team. What's going on, man? Why didn't the LA do anything? Why didn't they make a move? Help me out. Can somebody help me out? Glenn? Dirk?
What move could they really make? They can't get rid of the Westbrook. You know what I mean? They need to make moves. They don't have the capital to make that many moves. It wasn't much out there for them to make a move to make the team better. I mean, they just afloat. I mean, I don't know. You can't get rid of Westbrook. What else you gonna do? I probably would have made the trade to get John Wall. Swap him again. Swap. That's right. The only move you can. I don't think you can make.
Houston wanted more assets on top of just a straight 1-for-1 type of trade. They wanted more assets, and they weren't willing to do that. And then like they were looking at Horton Tucker to move him, but they still people were asking for too much for what they were trying to give up. So
yeah,
I don't know, man.
It is what it is. I just think like. Looking at them last night, they played good against Golden State. It went down to the last possession. But for LeBron to be in year 19 and you relying on him to do that much and nobody else is kind of really doing a whole lot around it. It's just you can't win like that. Not 19 years on them legs and all that. I don't care what type of shape you're trying to be in. You can't do it.
It has to be AD team. It has to be AD team, and he's not stepping up to take ownership of it. That's the way it is. Bottom line.
Nah.
Yep. All right. Some Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcats studios. Pop-up show. We in the NBA real quick. A little tidbit going to the NBA. If y'all don't know, y'all got Tristan Thompson. He's paying a lot of child support. $120,000 is going to his 3 baby mamas, including Chloe. I mean, is that Chloe? Oh, one of the damn Kardashians. Yeah, Chloe Kardashian. So this dude, because he can't strap it up, he has to now pay 3 different baby mamas a collective $120,000 of child support. I tell you, boy.
This down here says he could end up paying nearly that. Not that he is paying that, but again, I think we probably need to close the door to that bedroom and come on out of there with, like I normally say, Mr. Black.
Hey man, is
that man bedroom? I'll take
Did Tristan Thompson ever pay for the Lakers? No, he didn't. Okay, that's what the Lakers do. Dudes never strap up. All right, let's keep it moving, man.
He got traded too, right? He just got traded.
Oh, he did? To the Lakers? No. Okay. All right, so Wildcats podcast, we're gonna switch gears and we're gonna go to it's been all over the news. So we're gonna go to Joe Rogan. All right, so Joe Rogan was paid $100 million to move his very popular podcast from his platform to Spotify. Spotify paid him $100 million, and a lot of people were kind of upset because things came out. Things like this.
You know, the thing. Yeah, saying the word. You've already said is just like saying. She's calling you a like this boy that he's a and starts calling them word. There should be a word like, especially like the word. That's our. He says guy, and then starts saying to use the word out the word. Obviously, word say and he couldn't say.
That's a lot of niggas. That's a whole lot of niggas. That's a whole lot of niggas. And that's all from his podcast. And Joe, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a big fan of Joe Rogan's. You know, going from the Fear Factor to how he does his commentation on the UFC fights. You know, I was really I like this dude. I never watched his podcast at all. Don't get me wrong. I never watched the podcast, but you know, just to hear that. And then Keith sent me a clip of NDIRE going off because Spotify is a platform for artists, and all the Spotify's revenue is driven by artists and predominantly Black artists, and they get paid, I think, 1/1000th of a half of a cent per stream, and they're using all that money. That's how much they pay out to an artist every time an artist gets a stream on their platform. So, which is nothing. And she's kind of pissed off that, like, you know, you using my music and all my stuff to pay this dude, this idiot that's using the N-word like that. You give him all this money and you ain't paying me shit. I understood her point. But at the end of the day, this is white America. And this is at its best. It happens during Black History Month, and it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. But I'll go ahead and let you speak on it, Derek.
But that's what it comes down to, the power of the artist. They need to pull their stuff off Spotify and stand up for what's right. I mean, they can us artists like NDIRE, I mean, they can go to other platforms. We can't stand by and let that happen and be okay with it, because that's the problem we have. We don't take control and ownership of our situation. We can't just stand by and let it, fester like this.
This Bama, Joe Rogan, has 14.6 million followers on IG. And he had on his podcast, he moved 8 million of his followers from his platform that he was on to Spotify in one day when they gave him that contract. 8 million people converted over there to Spotify. So it's about the money. So they're saying, fuck that. We're going to let him call y'all nigga, and we're going to pay him because he's generating this revenue. So I don't know, Keith. You sent me this. So what's your point?
Ain't we on Spotify?
Right, we are.
Yeah, we need to do anything with that
shit. So, you said all of this. You said
Yeah,
all
we
of
need
this.
to cancel that shit
Take
right
all of
now.
our stuff down too.
Take our shit down.
Yep.
We're gonna take our 8 million, our 8 followers.
We're gonna take it with us. We're gonna take it with us. Who's going with us?
And Craig,
our 8 followers.
and Derek, just a full disclosure, you missed the production meeting. This topic was in limbo about even being used today. That's why he went to you first.
Oh, that's
he
why.
hit you with a sucker punch. You didn't know that.
I see now.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey man,
and I don't think you can see everybody's facial expression.
I'm good at what I do. That's all I got to say. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're a good old biatch.
Nah, man, but you know, at the end of the day, like I think we definitely need to come back and talk about this on a serious note when we're not doing like a quick pop-up. But his followers are going to go, he's clearly comfortable enough to say that and talk like that because of who his followers are, who the people that he talked to, even his so-called black friends, let him get away with that without checking them when he say it. So
you know what, Keith? I'm gonna play something because you said his so-called black friends. Let's go to another clip from Israel Alessandra. I hope I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, right. What black person name Alice, whatever you just said.
Listen, he's supporting Joe Rogan. He's a UFC fighter, big name in the UFC right now.
Question for you around Joe Rogan. There's been a lot of controversy with him.
First off, let me take this one. Hold up, I'm black. I can take this one. Look.
Okay. What were
No. There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game. I've been in this fight game since 2008, and Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humble motherfuckers I've had the pleasure of working with. Understand that? And it's just. Fuck the noise, man. You know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man, and he's got the biggest platform in the world right now. So that's my nigga, Joe Rogan. Fuck the noise.
So that's Israel Andy Sanda. So, and he's black, man. I mean, what do you?
Well, he's from Nigeria. He's from Nigeria. He's from Nigeria. He's not a so he's a naturalized citizen. He's not even a naturalized citizen, to be honest with you.
So is he? Hold on, I'm just trying to clarify something. So is he black?
You being good at what you're doing, being a dumbass.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Hey, you trying to tell me the man's not black? Don't get mad at me.
No, Craig. You got a narrative that you're trying to back us into. So yeah, Craig, he's black.
I'm not backing nobody. You
just asked the question.
Black.
Yes, Craig, he's black.
Okay.
All skin folk ain't all kin folk.
But derogatory, the root of the word, the reason why it's an offensive word is because of that in America what we've gone through, and he didn't go through none of that. So he cannot be our spokesperson for black because the fact that it had very in his country don't even have a meaning in this country, so it don't mean shit to him. But to us, it does. And if Joe Rogan's his man, he's so cool, he should have enough respect for the black community to even use the word. So fuck him.
Okay,
to a point, again, in Africa, they did have apartheid. So again, they were oppressed by white people and stuff. So I get it, but I think we had a conversation in the production meeting that this was not going to be enough time to have
my point being is
on this. So
it's friends like this black young man that put this type of empowerment into Joe Rogan's head that it's okay to use that shit. It's these type of black friends that do stuff like this that allow your white friends to say the word nigga around you that make Joe Rogan even be comfortable to do this dumb shit. And I'm not defending Israel, whatever his name is, Alessandra, whatever his name is. I'm just stating that the man is black. You try to tell me he's not black. That's all I'm saying, all right? And we were going to touch on it because it's a touchy subject, all right? Some Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcats studios, and it's the pop-up show, 30-minute special, and we 19 minutes in. So, Keith, do you want to say anything else about this topic?
Nope. I don't have nothing else to say. But we do have a new asshole on the show for this week. The title has been switched over. This is changing of the guard.
I'm just pointing out that that's a black man. That's all I got to say, man. No matter where you put it,
You done spent the whole thing off of where it was supposed to be at. It ain't even it.
It is what it is.
So you continue to watch your UFC fights because nobody else on here watches that shit. Nobody else was a fan of Joe Rogan, like you said before this came up.
Who don't watch
UFC? Continue to support your brother.
I ain't supporting that dude. That motherfucker, he taking money out of my girl India Reese's pocket. Fuck him. All right, so Wildcats Podcast coming to you live from some Wildcats Studios. It's the pop-up podcast, the 30-minute special. We're going to change subjects again, and we're going to go to keep subject. All right, it's the current state of all sports teams in the DMV. Let's run it down. Maryland basketball and football, terrible. Georgetown basketball is currently 16-19, 0-12 in the East. I mean 6-19, 0-12 in the Big East. All right, the Washington Wizards, terrible. We talked about their trade woes. And the Commanders. The Washington football team, new name, it says it all. Our ownership is under scandalous. I don't know what's little Danny boy. He got caught up in another sex scandal. Somebody else was on Capitol Hill talking about him. So, Keith, what's going on with our teams in the DMV, man?
Nah, it's just hard to watch, man. And again, this was another one that you know is probably going to be longer than 30 minutes. We could talk on this for a long time because we all passionate about all those teams that we just talked about that we grew up watching, we grew up rooting for, man. And just to see the product that's being put out there, and knowing like the talent pool that's here, it's just disappointing, man. To turn the TV on and see that as a representation of this area, knowing what what's here and what we're accustomed to seeing and what we know how to play, how to coach, what our expectation is for all of those squads.
Well, I'll say this: in the last few years, and probably the last 5 years, we have had a couple of champions. We have 3 different champions out of the DMV to dispute your point. You know, the Nationals won the World Series in the last 5 years.
I didn't put them on my list.
The Mystics, I'm just saying, you saying all the teams in the area. You said all sports teams in the area. That's your statement. I'm just
hold up. He said right now, all those teams we talked about are all in the cellar.
Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point?
Go ahead,
Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point? Can I finish my point?
You don't have one.
The Nationals won the championship in the last 5 years.
They weren't included on the list.
The Mystics just won the championship in the last 3 years.
They weren't included on the list.
And the Capitals just won the championship in the last 3 years.
They weren't included on the list.
So, okay, we'll go right ahead. I'm just
disputing.
We've had some champions. That's all I'm saying. We had some champions in the last 5 years.
Can I make my point then? His point is the state right now of those, and those teams you just named right now are in the cellar too. So they did 5 years ago. Don't count right now.
Cap's not in the cellar.
Yeah, they are. They win it. They not even if you look at right now, if they was going to the playoffs, they would not make it right there.
Let me look at the
standings. It's still early. It's still early.
Great. Look at the standings right quick.
Let me pull up the Capital standings. I got it up here right now. Washington Capitals.
So the point being though is right now
49-26
in all sports.
That's not bad.
That's not
49-26.
Oh, just barely 500.
How's that? 49-26 is barely 500.
No, they 49. Oh, sorry. I thought it's all right.
But they weren't on my list.
Okay, put the Caps on. Put the Caps on.
They weren't on my list.
That one team.
They weren't on your list. Okay, they weren't on your list. Okay.
But it's just like I said, just looking at and we know it's circumstances around all of the situations, but it's still hard to watch, man. I mean, all of us grew up watching Patrick Ewing's Georgetown Hoyas and root for them and the type of defense that they play, and to see them be 0-12 in the Big East is ridiculous, man. And they're not even competing.
They had a good squad last year, man. What happened from this year to last year? They had a good run at the right time. Okay, my bad. They had a good run last year at the end of the year. So what happened? You figured off of that run that they made in the Big East tournament, they would have capitalized, would have came out a little bit better this year in the Big East. What happened?
I mean, you look at the transfer portal, you look at I can't even explain it. But the one thing for both, Maryland basketball and Georgetown basketball is that I don't see local guys on that team anymore. I don't. Maryland's teams are basically
got some local guys. Actually, Georgetown do got a couple. They got a kid out of Douglas High School and stuff, man. I think Pat got maybe another year. That conference championship bought him a year, bought him a season.
I think this and whatever is killed that little momentum that he had though. Yeah. Everybody is right now in that business, man. It's a "what have you done for me lately" type of thing, man, and that ain't looking good to be and whatever in the conference. In
Glenn,
my
you done
opinion.
pissed Glenn off. Glenn done dropped off. You done pissed him off, man.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's that Wi-Fi, boy. That's that Wi-Fi. Some Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcat Studios. We got the pop-up show. We're calling it the 30-minute special. Got my man G back here now. All right. So let's talk about we talked about the Wizards. Let's talk about the Commanders. Let's talk about our football team.
All right, let me say this before you get started, because you've been harping on this name or whatever.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
Folks that are not fans of the Redskins, Washington football team, Commanders, they were gonna have something to say regardless of what the name was. You could have called it anything, and they would have had a problem with it. It was a reason why names weren't picked. I don't know if you remember that the lawyer trademarked all of the names that were the top names that were picked in the beginning. A lawyer from Virginia trademarked all of them that they had already said they weren't going to pay for to go back and forth trying to get those names. The the Red Wolves that everybody was talking about, that was also trademarked, I believe, by the Timberwolves that had all of the other names that could have came close to them. So at the end of the day, and just like you, even though you fussing at it, we're going to still watch that burgundy and gold, no matter what the name of it is. I don't like what's going on outside of all of it, and I don't think we're going to be competitive or good or have any good fortune until they get Snyder out of there. But that's what I've been rooting for 50 years.
I
can tell you who's not going to watch it. I can tell you John Riggins ain't going to watch it because he was pissed that they put his name and his likeness on some of the jerseys, and he felt like he didn't have a say in it. And to Keith's point, to be honest with you, we could have been named anything. We could have been the Commanders, the Commandos, Command the Hoes, Command the Shows,
the Commodores. Go ahead, get to
Commodores, and we was gonna still be the same old shitty Washington Redskins.
Right. At the end of the day, you got to win games.
All right. Well, I guess my only thing is we knew this was coming. I believe 5 to 6 years. Well, the organization should have known this was going to happen between 5 and 6 years ago. As an organization, somebody should have had the thought to go start researching names and start trademarking all these names up and down the board. Probably like 5 to 7 years ago, because it was always brewing that we need to change the name. Come on now, if there's anybody in that organization with any type of foresight, they'd be like, okay, you know what? Let's just start researching these names and gather these names together, man.
That's what the 2 years took.
The rollout was even worse, because if they knew, somebody hit me up and they told me that they trademarked that they got the Commander's name the day after they changed took the Redskins name away and changed it to the Washington football team. They had to go ahead and trademark the Commanders. So why not just roll it out right away if you already knew that? Why give us all this build up to this and come to this bullshit ass Commanders? I'm still a fan.
I think they still wanted to keep the Redskins for I think they wanted to see if it was a way that they could get it back or would be able to revert back to that name without going through it, which it was not. But it could have been anything. People was gonna have something to say about it. Now, the way that it rolled out, I thought that was terrible. That fizzled out terrible. But I mean, if you look at how many sports teams are out there, college, pro, or whatever, that are trademarked already. Look at the last team that was included in the hockey. They called the damn Kraken.
But you know what, man?
It's nothing out there.
They could have rocked with the Washington football team, and that would have been unique and started getting some traction with it and stuff. They could have rocked with that. And I think it's been
put a different logo.
I don't agree with Anthony a lot, but I agree with him right now. I don't want to agree with him at all, and I really don't like the motherfucker, but I agree with him right now.
Yeah, but you could have updated the logo, and anything would have been better than the practice uniforms we had been wearing the last 2 years.
Yeah, you didn't have to update the logo. Just WFT.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
All right,
just WFT.
Get used to it.
We're running up on 30 minutes right now.
I like the simplicity. I like the simplicity of the practice uniforms.
We got to get to it. We got to get to Super Bowl 56. Some Wildcats podcast coming to you live from some Wildcat Studio. It's the pop-up podcast, 30-minute special. We're running up on 30 minutes right now. Super Bowl 56 is here. It goes down tonight. We got the Bengals taking on the LA Rams. And, who y'all got? Who's going to win tonight, fellas?
Hey, I'm going with Joe Burrow, man. He been rocking with me all year. Got me my little bread
He
in
don't
fantasy
fuck with
football.
you. You been even rocking with you all year.
Fantasy football.
Fantasy.
I've been rocking with him all
I ain't gonna
year.
lie. Yeah, that he put up. Hey, he did. He put up
I've been
80
rocking with
points
him all
on
year,
me.
so I want to see if he can
Oh,
finish it
you
out.
rock with him. He ain't rocking with you.
Well, you know what I mean. And look, and after the day, I don't care even unless I pick him up in fantasy next year.
All right, so Keith got the
Let's
the
be
Bengals.
honest,
Who-
man.
Who you got, Glenn?
Hey, I'm a fan. I want to see Burrows do well, but there's no way that defensive line, offensive line can hold back that defensive line, the defensive front. So it's gonna be LA all the way.
All right. How about you, Ant? Who you got, Ant?
I'm gonna go with the Rams.
All right. So I guess it's I got the Bengals too, man. The 2 Bengals, 2 Rams. All right. Well, there you have it, y'all.
It's a tie.
That's the show. It's Black History Month, so we always support our Black businesses. Shout out to Ezra Technologies, Anthony, who specializes in
IT services, construction management, IT management.
He got
Shout
some
out
new
to-
stuff. You missed it.
Shout out to Henderson Automotive over in Queenstown, Maryland. Been around for like 40 plus years. Henderson Automotive. Also, shout out to PJ's Coffee, James and his beautiful wife out there in Fairwood, Bowie area.
You mean Mike?
Oh, Mike. Yeah, that's my Mike. Mike. My bad, Mike.
James.
My bad,
Mike Harris.
Mike Harris. Him with his beautiful wife, PJ's Coffee out there. Got them beignets, baby. And also, shout out to the Burton and Craig Shields Foundation's Community Cuts for Kids. We are 21 years deep in 2022. That's too many. 2022. 2022 in St. Louis, Missouri, and we're 5 years deep in the DMV. Shout out to WPGC 95.5. Shout out to all my
Why we
other-
shouting them out?
because they
Hey,
help
special
out.
shout out
They
to
help
Eddie.
out.
Eddie for
They help
joining
out
us,
Community
Mike
Cuts
for
for
joining
Kids.
us, and Malik for
Also,
joining
go
us
to
and
the
stuff.
Craig Shields Foundation.
Appreciate you out
.org.
supporting us, guys.
Go to the Craig Shields Foundation.org for more information.
Hey,
Log on there.
hey,
And what up, Glenn?
hey, I want to say one other thing. Prayer Angels going out to for Jason Strawbridge. He's going through some things right now in the hospital. So put the Prayer Angels out there for him. Send some prayers. Hope he get well.
Oh, for real?
But Jason Strawbridge, fellow
That's
Wildcat.
Northwestern Wildcat. Yeah. Prayers to you, Jason Strawberry. And we're gonna bring Anthony back. That's his pillow, y'all see right there. But there you have it.
It did not. Y'all gonna fight later. It's gonna be a fight this week.
Some Wildcats podcast. We appreciate y'all checking us out. 30-minute special, the pop-up show. And
When's
that's
the next
really
show?
about it.
Sunday? We going Sunday or what?
You tell me, Keith. When's the next show, sir? You always pick it. When's the next show,
Let's
man?
go Sunday. Since we got some unfinished topics that we need to touch on.
So next Sunday we going.
Hey, Ant. Next time you see him, still his ass. Black.
So we going next Sunday, fool?
I ain't messing with Black, man. I ain't messing with Black. He happy that he got a button that he can mute.
Yeah.
He happy
Hey,
than a
remember we had the Zoom?
football.
This man would hit me like this all the time, boy. Remember that? Remember that? Remember that? Changing my name every 5 seconds, boy. Yeah, all right, see you later. Yeah. All right, well, thanks for checking us out. Y'all have a good one. We see y'all next Sunday. Next Sunday?
Yeah.
Next Sunday, we'll be back. Yes, we will. All right, so
Hey, and again, special shout out to Eddie Good for joining us, Mike Reinhardt for joining us, and Malik for joining us and stuff. Appreciate the dialogue, fellas.
Yeah, what's up, fellas?
All right, and we out, y'all. We out.
I said, now if you don't